Welcome back again to another Cache Canada Chats, and we're here again live, and we're bringing you a wonderful guest this evening, and we already have a bunch of people in the live chat room. Hello, all. It's good to see you, and I think you're all excited to see our guest today because not a lot of people see this person because this kind of vlogger or geocaching filmmaker usually spends most of his time behind the camera. And he has self-proclaimed the fact that he does not like to be in front of the camera where you can see him. So it's not like you can see this guy all of the time like you can see this face. I don't know why you'd want to watch this face, but a lot of people do. So we're just going to share with you a little bit of a video so you can, if you don't know who this is, you'll kind of know when you see this. Hang on, we're going to add this. Go over here and hit play. There we go.
Hey everyone.
So there we go. Here it is, John Geo Elmo.
Hi,
If
Dave.
you haven't known him before, here he is. Hi, John. How you doing?
Good. How are you doing tonight?
Awesome. It's really good to have you on the show tonight.
Yeah, thanks for asking me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, we've got a lot to talk about from your channel, your GIFF entries, and your coin, and balloons of all things. So, what would you like to start with?
Anything you like. We can talk about the GIFF entries. I'm wearing my shirt from 2017.
I see that. It's an awesome, awesome shirt. So yeah, you have been in a record. I think somebody else has the same number, right? You've been in 3.
I have been in 3.
You've entered 3 times?
I've entered 4 times, but I've been in 3 times. Yeah.
Okay.
So
awesome.
I think See My Shell has 3 also. I don't know how many other, but I believe there's a guy from Germany that has 3 or 4. The First to Find guy, he has a lot.
Yeah. That it's a Swedish or Norwegian guy. Yeah, he's got 3 or at least 3. I think.
Right. Yeah, he's good too.
So awesome. So your first one was about a trackable.
Yes.
And was so fitting because that must happen to so many trackables out there.
Yeah, I've had so many disappear, but for the film, I didn't want to have it end where what normally happens is it just goes off the radar and you never hear about it again. So I had to have a nice happy ending, but it was a lot of fun. I mean, I had never made a film before. That was my first film I ever made in my life, and it was able to get into
Oh, really?
the festival. Yes.
That's amazing. Holy cow.
Thank you.
Yeah. So what brought you to do it? Why did you hadn't done any filmmaking before or any geocaching things before?
I can start at the beginning if you like. So basically, in 2013, I don't want to go too far back. I don't want to take too much time. But in 2013, I was fortunate enough to go to the block party in Seattle. And when I was there, I just happened to be out in Seattle, and I was like, oh, I'll go to this block party thing. So I went to it, and it was a lot of fun. But it's a long day. I had flown from New Jersey to Seattle, which is a 3-hour time difference, rented a car, driven to the event, and spent the whole day finding caches and meeting people. And then at the end was the very first Geocaching International Film Festival. So I thought, I'll just go. I'm here. I mean, just think, if it's 9 o'clock their time starting, it's like midnight for me starting because I just flown out there. And I went to it and I was like, this is really cool. But, I can never make a film. How do you make a film? I'm just a guy. I don't know how to make a film. So 3 years later, I hosted my first film festival, and I'm an engineer. So I'm watching these films and I'm like, I can do that. I bet I can do that. How would I do that? And I was fortunate enough to have 2 of the filmmakers at my event. There was 2 girls from 2016 that made a film about New York City geocaching. And they were at my event. I said to them, how'd you make this? And they told me they used an iPhone 6. And we showed this on a movie theater screen. And I was like, you used an iPhone 6 to film this? We saw it on a movie theater screen, and it was perfect. I mean, there was no quality loss being on a big screen. So I said, I'm going to do it. And I learned and I did it. So that's how I got started.
Nice. So that you just dove in to filmmaking, making a GIF.
Yes. That was my very first one. Yeah.
That's
so then I was all confident after that, and I didn't get in for the second ones. So I was like, I can do this. I already got in once, and then I made another one and I wasn't accepted into it. So
yeah.
Don't be overconfident. That's the moral of the story.
Did we ever see the second one?
It's on my channel. It was called, so it had all the emojis. It was called Smile, but it had it was with the emoji smile. So it had the colon dash parenthesis, and I asked them why it wasn't picked, and they said they didn't understand it. And I was like, "This is, you guys are from Seattle. I thought you were very, open-minded. Not, I wouldn't say open-minded, but just wide thinking and creative. And I thought it would be perfect for them, and they just didn't get it. So, but it's on my channel.
That's almost a basic language today.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. And they didn't like it. Well, cool.
Well,
we have seen something like that before in recent GIF films, using emojis and symbols rather than language.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice because if you think about it's an international film festival, right? So my first film, the Travel Bug one, had no dialogue in it. And that was for more than one reason. First was I didn't know how to actually record audio. So it made it a lot easier to not have to record audio. That was something I didn't know how to do at the time. But also because it's an international film festival, you want to consider that people are watching it from Spain and Bahrain and Asia and all these different places that they don't speak English as their primary language. So I wanted to make it accessible to them also. So I thought the emojis was brilliant, but it wasn't picked. So oh well.
Yeah, nice. And your second one was?
Second one was the Geocaching Express 6000 GPS receiver. Yes, that was
right.
The red GPS receiver that I made. Yes.
The fancy GPS unit that would take you anywhere instantly.
Yes.
And that had a lot of
that was actually my
effects.
I'm sorry, I'm interrupting again.
Yeah. It's a lot of special effects.
Yeah, that was actually, I think it was actually one special effect I used over and over again. But yeah, I had a Garmin eTrex H. That was my first GPS receiver. I bought it for about $40 on clearance when I first started geocaching, and eventually it just died. So I painted it red, and I had a DVD player remote control that also had broken. So I took some of the buttons off of it and glued them on. And I think by halfway done with filming, the buttons were lost. And I'm just like, hide the receiver, don't let them see it because all the buttons are gone. And, but that was a lot of fun. I mean, that was the first time I had Crunchy Bill as my main character. He was in my other two films also before that. But then he was also the star of my third film in the film festival.
Wow, he's a big star.
Yeah, he's great.
Sir Drumalot says he liked that one.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, that was good. It's nice to have Sir Drumalot with us.
Yeah, thanks.
And we have Tyva28, loved being at Geo Elmo's GIF events at the theater in his town.
Yes.
Awesome. So we have somebody that knows you.
Yep. I remember, they came to my event in my town.
Nice. Very nice. Yeah, we were close to you once, but unfortunately our timing didn't work out. We were in New Jersey, and it was a Sunday, and I think it was Easter weekend. So it was it was a really bad timing on our part. So someday we'll get over there. And your third film?
So the film from this year was, I'm drawing a blank. It was Got a Pen. So that was taken from, I don't know if anyone knows this, but back in the 80s or 90s, there was a Got Milk commercial where there was a guy who was a boss who was a real jerk, and he fires someone on his phone, and then he gets hit by a truck, and he ends up in the afterlife thinking he's in heaven. It's full of chocolate chip cookies. He's eating the cookies, and he's like, I'm in heaven. Then he opens up the refrigerator, and there's no milk, and he realizes, wait, where am I? So I kind of stole the idea from that. And I used the same font. I actually looked up the font that was in the Got Milk advertising, which is Phoenix American, and I used that as the same font for my title and everything. So it was totally taken from an old commercial, the idea, but obviously we changed it for geocaching.
Very nice. A little Easter egg there for people. Yeah. Komikino did that, copying a movie trailer or movie segments to do his, and put in little segments there. Tried to actually copy the movie for the GIF entry that he did. It was really neat. He did a backstory for it. It was very interesting to hear about that.
Well, he really did a good job of being shot for shot. I mean, he did the trees had grown around and everything, but I mean, he really did a nice job of actually going to the real house and everything like that. That was cool.
Yeah. Had you seen the film that he mentioned?
No, I don't watch movies like that. It's a little scary for me.
I think I've heard of it, but I hadn't seen it, so it's on our list to try to catch.
Yeah, it was The Ring or something like that. But yeah, he did a good job with that one.
Yeah. So apparently you have another entry ready to, or you're thinking of. And unfortunately, we don't have a GIFF festival for 2022. If
No.
people didn't know that, they're putting it on hold again. I wish they wouldn't, because we have one almost ready to go. So yeah, you have an idea, and this time you say you're going to win.
No, this is an idea I've been waiting to do for a long time. I wanted to do it last year. Last year they didn't do it, right? And then I was like, well, I'll do it in this year. But then of course with COVID, I didn't know what was going to happen. So I made a quick film, which was what you saw, got a pen that only really required one other person to work with. I didn't want to have crowds of people. This is an idea I've had for a long time. Hopefully it's something that I'm going to love. I mean, anytime I make a film, it's something that I will love. I would love watching, and hopefully other people like it too. So anytime I hear that people like it, I'm just happy that other people like it. But I think people will like this one. Am I going to win? I don't know. I'm always just happy to make it into the film festival. I mean, that's a huge accomplishment. So
it's amazing. We have Joshua Johnson. Obviously, he's a big geo vlogger, and he doesn't enter anymore because I think he won the very first one.
Yeah,
and he didn't think it was fair because he has the experience now to enter more, because he could win again. And I think that's a good idea. But there's a lot of geo vloggers, our Cache Canada included, who have not, who produce videos all the time, but have not entered a GIFF entry. Some have tried and not been successful. And that's what you've said. It's something you have to love and something you have to be really confident in. And because we make video, we do 2 videos every single week.
yes.
We do a 1 Minute Wednesday, and then we do a Saturday entry, or now a live stream in the winter. It just became kind of difficult to think of an idea. Some of the things that we've done could have been altered or changed to be a GIF entry, but it would have taken a lot of work and a lot of pre-planning. We just didn't have the time. But I've had an idea in the back of my mind for quite some time, and I finally had enough footage from having vlogged for 3 years that the idea could come together, and we did put together an edit. And then I was disappointed to hear that there wouldn't be a GIF festival
Right.
for 2022, and I'm like, oh, there's only a few things I need to put together to film, but it's sitting there on the back burner, and I'm going to come back to it every now and do a couple of tweaks and make it a little better. So
that would
I think
kill me sitting on it that long. It would be eating me up just having it sit there and not being able to show it to anybody.
Yeah, I know. It's just like, wow. But by the time, hopefully, if it doesn't get in, it doesn't get in, but you'll see it on Cache Canada eventually. But I think it's
definitely encourage people. I mean, as you know, like, just because your film isn't in doesn't mean people can't see it. And actually the one that wasn't selected, it has more views than any of my other film festival entries. People, got a lot of good comments, and so that I always encourage people, just make it, because it doesn't matter if it gets in, people can still see it. Put that GIFF in the title somewhere, and people can search for it, and geocaching and GIF, and they can find it, and people will watch it. So definitely make it. Don't worry about whether it gets in or not. I think one of the keys, I just want to pass along a tip. I think one of the keys that people should know is, just a tip from my experience, is audio is a lot more important than video. So when you make these videos, you can get away with bad video, and it's acceptable. But when you have bad audio in a film, it'll be very noticeable. So spend the time with the audio. One of the reasons I didn't have any dialogue in my first film, I was shooting with an iPhone, right, an iPhone 7, and I didn't have a way to capture audio up close. So I was filming from many feet away. And it wouldn't be able to pick up the audio from people speaking. So that's one of the reasons I was like, I'm not going to, I don't have my glasses on. It's hard for me to read that.
Just saying hello.
Okay. Sorry. So yeah, I mean, work on audio if you're going to make an entry, because, just having a microphone just out of the shot, I don't have it in here somewhere, but I use a shotgun mic, and I hold it right outside the shot, and I get very good audio. So if you're going to make a GIF entry, that's my biggest tip, is make sure the audio is good. It's going to make it have a lot better chance of getting in.
Yep. Yeah, Geo Rick, one of the vloggers from Australia, has I think it's a Bose. I'm not sure if it's Bose, but has two microphones, and they're hooked to the camera, so that the person that is far away can be heard almost as if they're just as close. And
Yeah,
that audio is working really well.
yeah, it's really
And
nice.
yeah, and we're looking into possibly doing that as well. Not that we're never Karen and I are never really separated very much when we're doing video. So, but it might help with a little bit more clarity, I guess. So
Right.
we're gonna try that out.
I always shoot
Um,
with a lav mic when I do my videos, and I make a separate file and I edit it in. I know that GeoRick, they actually bring the audio right into the video, so it's just they only get one file at the end, so they don't have to mix it together or put it together. But I like
yep.
having it separate just in case there's a problem with something. So
Hmm.
that's the way I do mine.
Yeah, I've never thought of separating the video or the audio. I mean, from the
But
video.
yeah,
Huh.
I always do that.
Well, what does that do for you?
So what I do is just in case, like I did a video one time where actually none of the audio came through the microphone. So, but I still had the audio that was from the camera. So I didn't lose everything. So I'm always afraid that, God forbid I make a whole video, especially when it's only like one time where it's live or,
Yeah.
outside somewhere with somebody, and then you lose everything. So I kind of basically have two audio tracks that I can work with. One's the main one
Okay.
and one's a backup.
Yeah. Oh, okay, that's cool. Yeah, because we have had instances where we've lost the audio track altogether. Our earliest microphone that we had that was not built into the camera was when Geocaching Katie has had the same problem. You need to turn it on.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
if it's plugged into the camera, it overrides the camera's mic. If
Okay.
you forget to turn it on, there is no sound. And we shot an entire video with no sound.
Okay.
And it was so disappointing because it was such a cool location. Some really nice. We had a good time, but I was able to salvage that video and make it a silent movie.
Okay.
So there's ways around it. You don't want to do that all the time, because it's a novelty once, maybe twice. We actually did it twice, but you don't want to do that all the time
Right.
unless that's your thing.
Right.
So
Yeah. I did.
so
Okay. What's your next question? Sorry.
yeah, so the GIF entry, that was your first foray into filmmaking, but then it launched you into wanting to do more.
Yes. I
Yeah.
love being creative. I mean, I'm like I said, I'm an engineer, and at the time I was like a lead engineer, and so I wasn't actually doing anything creative at work. So this was my chance to do something creative, to make films. And I vowed to myself when I started this channel that I was going to do it, I guess, first of all, until I was not having fun with it, and also I was just going to do it at my own pace. I mean, you can see I don't publish videos regularly. I have my idea list is growing faster than my videos are being produced, but when I have a video that I'm happy with, I publish it, and that's just the way I wanted to do it. And like we talked about in the beginning, I didn't really ever plan to be in front of the camera, but
Mm-hmm.
that all happened because of COVID. And I think you had a similar, something similar with that too.
Yeah. Yeah. We started doing these live streams. We discussed this last night, I think.
Right.
Once COVID was nearing the end of 2020 and going into 2021, we had a lot of hard times getting out. So that's how these live streams came about. We don't want to make them a part of our channel as 100% all the time. It just fills a gap, or at that time it filled a gap because we couldn't get out and travel easily. We started to venture further on, but it was just a way of hey, let's connect with the audience a different way, and I actually like it. So now we're making it a part of our channel in the December and January timeframe and into February with some of these live streams with some
Right.
special guests like you.
Yeah, thank you.
And Houston Dave had a question. We're going to come up to that a little later on. He said, "How is your balloon testing going?" So we're going to get to that.
Yes.
That's the end balloons thing we're
Yeah.
talking about. But yeah, Carol
Not
says
an
the most important part is having fun with it, and that's true. When it starts to become a job, that is where you get into trouble. And I had that when I was doing my daily streak. I ended up finishing at 555 days in a row,
Wow.
and getting into the 400s after the year. I just decided, well, let's just keep going, see how far we can go. But then it became a job, It was Karen would say, well, dinner's going to be ready soon. I said, well, I'll be an hour.
Okay.
Because in the winter, I would have to drive a half an hour away to find an easy cache I could find in the snow, and then come home a half an hour. And it just got to the point where it was just drudgery, and
Right.
I was starting not to have fun. So
my longest is 9 days, so that's about as tolerant as I am. And my
9
biggest
days.
streak, my biggest in a day is 25. So I'm not a big numbers cacher. I think as of today, I have about 1,350 something, maybe. Definitely not, and that's from about 11 years. So I'm definitely not a big numbers cacher. I remember Hailmeister posted, I think he found 1,900 caches last year, and then like that's more than I have found in 11 years. So
yeah, and he's just I think we're at, what am I at, 15, coming up to 16,000.
Wow.
And I think he's ahead by 500. I think we were very close. Getting our milestones at the same time, but he has surpassed me. He's got on a lot of recent high numbered days caching. So we have, it comes in fits with us. We, sometimes we have a really big day. We did a couple of weeks ago. We just did a big numbers run, and it was fun. We went with another couple. It was just, everybody does their own thing. So
my biggest time when geocaching was work was my 366-day calendar, not a streak, but when you have, when you've been doing this for a few years, and it's like I either can find a cache today or I have to wait a whole year in order to get this day, then I have to push myself to go out. And I mean, I had to go out in snowstorms and kind of like what you're talking about. And, at the end of that, my last cache, the one that sealed the 366 was Bridges and Arches of Central Park, which I know you found and made a video about. After that, I took a break. I was like, I'm not having fun. I'm just going to put this away. It's turning into work. And, eventually I got back to it. But that's when it was the least amount of fun for me, geocaching.
And geocacher Ken says, try 1,000 days in a row. He was done around 900.
Wow. Like I told you, mine was 9. I got to 9 days and I was like, all right, that's funny.
Yeah.
I have a lot of hobbies. That's the problem. I have a lot of things I'm interested in. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Albedo says he's done it 40 days.
Oh, wow. That's a good number. That's a lot.
Yeah. So, I was going to ask you what your favorite geocache that you found, and I forgot, and you had just said it was the Bridges and Arches.
Yeah, we did that with a group of 9 of us. And as you know, I mean, you did that one. We did it all in a day. We spent 6 hours walking 9 miles. We'd been in contact with the cache owner because he gives out those coins for finding them. And I had texted him and said, there's 9 of us coming. I just want to make sure that's okay. Like, do you have enough coins? And can you tell us where to park? Because, I live right outside of New York City, in case people don't know that. I'm about 10 miles from New York City. And so we drove in, we parked. He told us, about where we would finish up, obviously not where the cache was. So we parked there. We took the train up to 110th Street and we started at, waypoint A, and we walked through it. And I mean, it was such an experience finding all those places in Central Park that actually it kind of ruined geocaching for me. So, it's like what an amazing experience, right? So then you go to a lamppost and you're like, okay, it's a lamppost cache, or you can spend the day in Central Park. But I mean, I still love geocaching, but what an experience that was.
Yeah, once you have one of those or several of those, just the normal run-of-the-mill film canisters or just, whatever.
Right.
But you've got to search out now to find the really, really cool ones. And that's what we do. I mean, it's not just a cool gadget cache, but it's also a neat location or a neat story or a good hike or whatever. So, you're always trying to find that same feeling and that adventure. And what a way to see Central Park. The Bridges and Arches cache with 32 stages for a multi was just amazing. You actually get to see what Central Park is like, and it was fabulous. Yeah. So you don't cache a lot. When was the last time you found a cache?
I think January 1st. So
January 1st.
There was an event. There was an event for the first of the year. I mean, it used to always be that the souvenir was just for the one day. But someone in my area hosted an event in New Jersey, and I went and actually had some coins to drop off, so I wanted to go and see people. And then I found another cache in the parking lot that we met that day, and I think that was the last time. But it's been very cold. I mean, we had a blizzard last week, I think, and it's been very cold, and I don't know. It gets dark early, so I just don't go out there. I'll go out again when it gets a little warmer.
Yep. Charles said he's done 2 400-day streaks, not just one,
Wow.
but 2, one for each of his Jasmers. Wow.
Wow.
And Sarah's done 556. She beat me by 1.
Wow.
Sarah Garneau. Oh, yes. I think I'll be geocaching with her tomorrow.
Okay. Wow, that's a lot.
Wet Coaster, he went 60 days, only because it was challenged to do 60 in his area, would have finished at 50 otherwise.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
And the Central Park one was on his bucket list, Charles says. How long did it take? You said you guys did it in a day.
We did it in 6 hours. So we basically parked, like I said, we took the train up to waypoint A, and you'll see the waypoints are from A to Z and then a couple past because it's more than 26. And we just followed the waypoints the way they were. And like I said, we knew where the final was approximately, just because for planning purposes. The cache owner is awesome. He's very responsive. Like I said, he gave me his cell phone number, said text me if you have any issues. And actually what he did, this is kind of cool, is he went out that day and hid 9 coins, but not in the cache, but near the cache. And he took a picture of it and he said, when you get to the cache, look for this and you'll find your coins. So we didn't have to take the coins out of, the cache stockpile. He gave us our own coins, and, we took a picture, and it was a lot of fun.
That's very cool.
6 hours and 9 miles, just for your planning purposes.
Yeah. Karen and I started about 10 o'clock because we had taken the train in that day, and we finished about 7 o'clock at night. So it was considerably longer, but we were filming as well. So you have to take that into account. And we stopped for a hot dog. Yeah.
Is that when you stopped at the Angel in the Water statue for Hailmeister? Is that the trip? Is it the same trip?
Yeah. Oh, yes. We had to hide a cache as well.
Yes.
For the Hailmeister. Yeah. So we hid a cache. Well, it was not a real cache because it was never listed. It was just for a joke from you. You wanted us to hide something for him because you were going to be there, and he filmed it. We filmed it as well.
Right.
And we went to dinner and we worked on the numbers that we had. We had a hotel that night, and I worked on the numbers, and I had something was wrong, and I was able to, like message the cache owner. I had the final was in not Heathrow, one of the airports. It wasn't anyway. One of the it wasn't John F. Kennedy. It was the other one.
Oh, LaGuardia, maybe.
LaGuardia, yeah, somewhere near LaGuardia, and I'm like, okay, that doesn't make any sense. I did something wrong, so I had one number wrong, and he just said, "Oh, just take a picture of your list," and I had it all written out, and then he said, "Oh, this is wrong here," and I said, "Okay." So then I realized what I had done wrong, recalculated, boom, and it was like, okay, it's in Central Park, so it has to be right. It's right. And then we went that morning, and we met somebody was going to the final as well at the same time. So it was pretty cool.
Very neat.
Yeah. So Jeremy says, or Colin, he puts out, Jeremy Irish says it's not all about the numbers. Yeah, so there we go. We're not alone. Anybody that doesn't go for the numbers. Right. And Cash Line says 366 was all I ever wanted, and that's what he got. So
that's impressive. That's a good number, because I don't know a lot of challenges that go past 366, but it's not something I was going to pursue.
Yeah, 366 unique and consecutive, March 1st to February 29th. Wow. Not the day before or the day after. Very nice. Wow. Good job.
Very cool.
Wow.
So I know some people, this is like a geocaching morality thing that some people have, is some people will pre-scout for locations. So they'll say, okay, well, I know I have to find one tomorrow. I'll just kind of check to see if it's there, and then I'll go back tomorrow and actually sign it. But other people say, that's immoral. You can't do that. It has to be pure, the search. So I know that's a big debate from geocachers. So
that's one of the strategies that people that do streaks will tell you, and I've done that, and it has bitten me because I needed one. It was a bad weather day. It was a blizzard. It was snowing. I went to the park where I knew where one was on a fence behind the bench, and it wasn't there. Wow. At 9 o'clock at night, and I'm like, that was my savior. It's not there. I knew it probably had dropped, but the snow was 2 feet deep. There was no finding that bison. So I was in a scramble to find a cache, and it took me an hour to find one. That it was easily accessible, and then I could get my hands on.
Right.
So I have done that. You look at it, okay, I'm not gonna. I see it. It's right there. I'm not touching it.
Right.
I'll put it in. I'll put it in the bank. If I ever need one. So
I mean, you did go geocaching 500 something days in a row, right? So
Yeah.
and you found a cache those days. But
Yeah, the most memorable was it was the second going into the second year. It was after the 365. It was February, late February, and it was minus 25 degrees Celsius. I don't know what that
wow,
is in Fahrenheit. It was very cold,
yeah,
and the wind was blowing really strong, and there was a blizzard, and I was about 25 feet up in the air in a tree.
wow,
And I was doing that. I go, what am I doing? I said, this
yeah.
is nuts. All for a cache for the day.
That's
But what a memory. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's the memories that Like I said, I don't have a lot of numbers, but I have a lot of good memories. I do a lot of. I can drive. I once drove 8 hours to find one cache in a day. Actually, I found two, but I was really just going for the one. I drove 8 hours to the cache, someplace else just to visit, and then back to where I was starting, and found really the one cache I wanted. That's the
Yep.
way I am. That's one of my favorite memories. That was going from Seattle to the original stash. I drove 3 hours down, had lunch in Portland at a Whole Foods or something. Then I visited Mount St. Helens, which is about 2 hours from Portland. Then I drove back to Seattle, which is about 3 hours from Mount St. Helens, for one cache. But what a memory! I mean, I had such a good time. I was by myself, playing whatever music I wanted, and I just had a good time. So,
And that's what it's about. It's bringing memories to what you do. Like
right,
and creating memories for yourself. So that's pretty cool.
yeah, that's
And
fun.
do you have any other memories, things that you know spiked your interest or like gave you a wow factor?
One of my second favorite cache was in New Jersey, in a town called, I think, Livingston. There was a cache called Into the Abyss, where basically it was a traditional cache, but when you got to the location, you were at a storm drain, and you realize the cache is down below. So in order to get to it, you had to walk about 2/10 of a mile to a soccer field, and there was a big, I don't know what you call it, culvert or a drain opening. It was about 6 feet tall. It wasn't something we were crawling through, but it was 2/10 of a mile through it, in the pitch dark. I mean, it's absolutely dark in there, and headlamps on and everything. I took my kids, and what a great time. I mean, that was so much fun. Worth it for that one. I mean, I've done crazy things. I was in Texas one time. I drove an hour to Oklahoma to a virtual just to get the state. I wound up actually going to Oklahoma later on, but I didn't think I was actually going to ever go there. And then,
Yep.
Driving from Boston to Maine just to get two caches when I was in Boston one time. I've done all sorts of things. Another one, just real quick, is when I was in St. Louis one time, I did the Chain of Rocks Bridge. I think that's what it's called. It's basically the bridge it's a Route 66 bridge that goes over the Mississippi River. So I was in St. Louis, which is in Missouri. I had to drive into Illinois because the parking's a little bit safer on the Illinois side. It's a closed bridge, but then I ran up to the middle, and I'm standing with 1 foot in Illinois, 1 foot in Missouri, with the Mississippi River going under me, Route 66 painted on the ground by myself.
Yep.
And what a memory. So like I said, I'm not a numbers guy, but I'm definitely an experience and memories guy. I love doing things like that.
Yeah. We did a trip and where we went to one of the places we went was Memphis, and of course just across the river is Arkansas. And I thought, well, we'll just drive across the bridge, get one cache. We didn't have plans to do Arkansas, but it's so close.
Right.
What I didn't realize, it's not that close. From Memphis to the next possible place you can get a cache is about 10 or 15 minutes down the highway, because there's the river's right there, but there's a big swampy section. So we had to find one lamppost cache in Arkansas. We had to go about 30 minutes out of our way just for one cache.
Wow.
So we could say we had Arkansas, and I think that's still the only cache we have in Arkansas is a lamppost cache.
But it's fun. I mean, it's a fun memory, isn't it? I mean, you got Arkansas on your map now, and what a fun, right? And it's a fun time. Did you? So when you were I know you went to the Geo Woodstock. That was the Giga event, right? The one in Cincinnati. Did you do the bridge? So there's a bridge that goes from Kentucky into Cincinnati called the Purple People Bridge, and you can stand on the. I don't know if you did that when you were there, but it's another fun memory of mine.
Yep.
What's that?
Didn't do that one, no.
Oh, okay, so you can stand over the Ohio River between Kentucky and Ohio, with 1 foot in each state and the river underneath you. And so, that was a good one. That was in Cincinnati.
Did that on the Hoover Dam.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, you stand on the line and there's two different states. I didn't realize it did that.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I don't have my glasses on, so I'm trying to like
yeah.
read some of these
So
comments.
Charles says one of his favorite memories was the ape cache near Seattle. Did it by himself. Very relaxing walk through the end of the. There was a light at the end of the tunnel,
Uh,
a mile and a half long. Yeah. So
that's a great cache. That's so much
yeah,
fun to do that one.
we're gonna be doing that one. But apparently this year, they're separating the ape cache event from Geo Woodstock and the block party event. The ape cache event will be in September.
Oh wow.
Rather than August, because they want to be careful of the number of people that are coming together.
Okay.
So we'll be doing the ape cache, but not as an event, and well, probably there'll be enough people there. There'll still be a lot of people there because of the block party event happening, and we'll probably do it on the Sunday after the block party, or possibly before, because it all depends on the timing.
Right.
What we're trying to do is for travel and that. So
That's a great cache if you haven't done that one yet. I did that. So I told you I was in Seattle for the block party the 1 year. So the day after is when I did the ape event, and so I walked out. But in 2013, it wasn't the real ape cache. It was the replacement, because if you remember, it went missing and they replaced it, and then eventually they found it again. But I didn't find the real one, so I don't have the ape icon on my.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
So I found the replacement cache with a lot of people. I met Brian Roth that day, and I was hiking with him for a little bit and some other cool people. But I didn't get the ape cache. I got the replacement.
Oh, that's what I'm after, is the icon.
Yeah, I don't have it yet.
Yeah. Oh, well, come on out. We can go caching together.
Okay.
So you were saying you wanted to go to Niagara Falls.
Yes.
And the Eternal Light Earth cache, or Eternal, right?
Eternal Flame.
Eternal Flame. Have you done that yet?
I haven't. So last year, no, this is 2022. 2020, boy, this COVID thing's been going on a long time, hasn't it?
Yeah.
So basically, the spot, there's a cache called the Spot, which is a May 2000 cache, right? So that's about 5 hours from where I live. So I had a plan on the 20th anniversary, which was May 25th or 26th of 2000, to go find that cache. And I was going to set up my community celebration event up there and, do something up there. And then COVID hit. And of course, like, we weren't supposed to cross state lines and all that kind of stuff. I mean, that was, no vaccines yet. And so everything, and no one knew what was going on, if it was just floating through the air or how it was transmitted. So I never went to see it. But I do have a plan eventually to drive up to that cache and then go to the Eternal Flame cache, which is about probably an hour or two from the Spot. Yep. And eventually go down south to Pennsylvania. I don't know if you found this one, but there's another, I think it's a July 2000 cache. It's another month, but it's from 2000 near Erie.
Yep.
And then kind of just do a loop. So it'd be probably, 2-day trip, but find those. See, like I said, I'm a experienced guy. 3 caches over 2 days, but to me, that'd be so worth.
No, that's an awesome road trip. Yeah. The one from Pennsylvania, we found that one. It's not Turkey Stash, it's Gamelands or something.
Yeah, there's a number on it too, like number 107 or 106 or something like that, right?
Yeah, I think Neil Moore, Cache Tales, just had a video on that one just a few weeks back or a month back. Yeah, because he did kind of what you were going to do, a kind of a vacation around Niagara Falls. Not that you were vacationing around Niagara Falls. Would you have stopped to see the falls?
So I've been there, and actually part of my plan was, I know someone who lives up nearby, Deadliest Cachers, who I saw commenting before. So hello.
Yep.
And I actually asked, like, hey, how hard is it to like set up an event on the Canadian side? Go find those caches and then go to an event in Ontario near Niagara Falls, and then just zip back through. But apparently, it's a real pain in the neck right now. So, and it costs money, and so I would actually do that, but right now it's not really. It's a headache right now.
Until they lift the requirement to be vaccinated or show vaccine certificates and all that, and have COVID tests and whatever. It's difficult to go back and forth like that.
Yeah. So. But I would definitely do that. We've actually been to Niagara Falls as a family, and it's awesome. I found, I think, 4 caches. Those are my 4 Ontario caches and my only Canadian caches. Yeah. But it was a lot of fun.
I'm looking forward to when you plan that trip, and we'll come find the Eternal Flame with you, or the Spot or something. We'll come and see you.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that all this, especially the cross-border stuff, kind of, gets a little better. At least, like in the United States, they were telling us not to leave New Jersey, for a while, but at least we can kind of within the United States get around. But I know between countries is still hard.
I'm hearing a lot of positive news that things are going to start lifting. So passports are going to start disappearing and stuff. So hopefully it'll all be good, and later in 2022 will be a lot freer to travel. So So there we go. So the Carol says my youngest son lives in Niagara Falls, so I'm always there. So hey, if you're in the area while we're there, well, look us up.
Yeah.
And I am from the area. A little small town called Ridgeway, which is just outside of Fort Erie, which is across the river from Buffalo. So I know Niagara Falls a lot, and I used to just drive by and not give it a second look. It was just a big ditch with some running water in it.
That's how I am with New York City. I mean, I can see New York City from my town, and people, like Hailmeister, he had never been to New York City, so he flew out here. He had never met me. He had never seen me. He's a very brave guy, by the way. He had never seen me because I had never been in any of my videos before. And I messaged him and said, hey, I'm having this film festival event. Would you like to come out? And he did. I was shocked, but I was happy. And took him to see New York City for 3 days, and he had never seen it before. But I see it all the time. Like you saw Niagara Falls growing up all the time. I see New York City the same way.
Yeah, and then Colin says he lives in Niagara Falls. Oops.
Oh, cool.
Sorry. There we go. Yeah, and we've been there and met him, and of course he's one of our patrons.
Awesome.
So
there's two Niagara Falls, right? Is there any, or is it just Buffalo?
Niagara Falls, New York, and Niagara Falls, Ontario. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I've been to both waterfalls. I guess the one on the American side, you can walk right next to it on the steps and get wet. That's
and
fun.
the better view is from the Canadian side because you can see everything.
Yeah. But it's funny when you go up there, it's like you play a game called How Many Ways Can We See the Falls? Basically, I mean, you go behind the falls, you go on the boat to see the falls, you go above the falls, you zip line to see the falls. It's just funny, and you can take the American side boat ride and the Canadian side boat ride.
Karen is looking forward to going on the American side down the tower to the base of the American Falls. So that's on our bucket list to do.
Yeah.
I've done it once with my mother, but never Karen. So
she
bugged me for a while because I grew up there. I never thought. She goes, we never go there. I said, well, I grew up there. It's whatever. It's a big ditch. But it is something to see. It is really cool. Right. So moving on to your channel.
Okay.
If people are obviously, everybody that's watching has absolutely seen Geo Elmo geocaching on YouTube, but why? I mean, did you started that after your GIFF, or?
So I created it in 2017 when my film was, I knew my film was in the film festival, and so I created the channel, and that was my first video that was published on the channel.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, I started doing the Minecraft videos, and I did some texting videos. They were supposed to be, I had my family, I wrote out scripts. I'm a script writer. Well, just for fun.
Yeah.
And so we would write out these texting scripts, and we'd all text each other. And I changed all their names to be geocaching names, and I would record those and publish those as fun. It's supposed to be funny videos, but hopefully they actually work.
Well, that's one of the videos you did was about the flea.
Yeah, I did one about ticks. It was supposed to be from the point of
ticks.
Ticks, yes. Ticks are scary, but I wanted to make it fun, like about how they're waiting for us at the edges of the leaves, and it's fun.
I really liked that one. That was a lot of fun.
Cool.
Did that take a lot of time to do?
So it's kind of funny because it takes longer to edit it. So I wrote out the script. I basically printed out 4 copies, and my family, we all sat around and texted each other. And I just did a screen recording, but editing it takes more because it takes a while to type something. Like if I'm saying, "Hi, my name is Geo Elmo, and welcome to my channel," and you're waiting for me to type that, and all you see are the 3 little dots on the screen. That's really boring. So I had to chop that down a lot, so make it a little bit more interesting. Yeah, so those were fun, and those were easy because I didn't have to film anybody. I just was recording stuff. Yeah.
So you had your family text you on the phone, and that's how you created that?
Yeah, what I did was, so in my phone, obviously I have them in my contacts, right? My wife and my kids in there, but I changed their names in my contact list. So like I changed my wife to be, Traditional Joe, and my daughter to be, I don't know, something else like Puzzle Solver 101 or whatever. And so when I was texting them with my phone, it looked like I was texting these geocachers, but I was texting my family. It was just kind of the magic of filmmaking, right?
I wondered how you did that. I thought it
Yeah,
was animation that you. So
no,
you just video or screenshotted your phone.
yep.
Yeah.
I
Wow.
just
That's
recorded. You can hit a record button. I have an iPhone, so I just hit the record. It was probably 25 minutes of typing. We'd mess up. We'd laugh. I'd have to delete some things, and then, but when you go back and edit it, I turn that 25 minutes into like a 5-minute video. You know what
mhm.
it's like when you make. How much footage do you have when you have your videos, right? And you're cutting it
Yeah.
down to a couple minutes.
So I was trying to find how many subscribers you have because I want to. You're not about numbers, and you have 516
Yeah, it's pretty good.
subscribers.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
happy with that.
you're happy with that. That's good.
I mean,
It's a very difficult niche, and it's not a big numbers thing. So
right. I mean, yeah, geocaching in general, for all of us, for the people watching, it's really a labor of love. I mean, we love what we do, right? Otherwise, because, people I watch outside of geocaching have millions of subscribers, and, we have thousands, some people have thousands, like a lot of us don't even have 1,000, but we love it, right? I mean, you love what you do. I love what I do. And it's not about the numbers. And I love the comments, and I love the people I've met through it. I mean,
yeah,
all of you guys, it's just great. So yeah, just appreciate it, everyone, is because we're not getting a lot out of it as far as like rewards, but
yeah.
it's just fun, and it's not like a monetary reward. It's more the friends we're making and the experiences we're sharing and things like that. It's a lot of fun.
I am almost forgetting the coin.
Yeah, I have some
So
here.
we'll talk about the coin there. So you have one. We'll talk
Yeah.
about the coin in a minute, but we are giving away this coin tonight. So
Cool.
all you have to do to win is just make a comment in the chat section on live, and then before the end of the night, I'm going to do a spin the wheel off the screen and figure it out. It takes a while to get it all to work out because I take a list from all the comments, and sometimes a comment wins but doesn't show me who made the comment. So it just takes a while to figure out who's going to be the winner. So tell us about the coin.
Coin was fun. So I have 3 of them. So this was like the regular one, and this is a glitter one. You probably can't see it, and this one glows in the dark. So there's 3 of them, right? And the back of each of them is the same. So this is like a history. I don't know if I can show this. This is like a history of my channel. So on the top left is the main character from my film festival. Actually, you can see it up here too on my screen.
Mm-hmm.
So actually, I'll just do that so I don't have to hold it up in front of the camera. So on the top right, well, we'll start with the top left. That's the first film festival that I was in. That was the 2017. They had the red gnomes. So each year there's a different color. And so that's why it's red, because I wanted to kind of show that that's the first time I was in the film festival.
You can share your screen. I don't know if you can see that on your
computer. Well, I'm just pointing to a different screen.
Yeah.
So I'm just pointing over there.
Yep.
Well, the other one, the second one on the top right is the main character from my first film, which is the Travel Bug, the Travel Bug's Life. And then going around clockwise, there's an Earth there because with caches and a GPS satellite. Because my favorite films that I've done, even though I've done a lot of geocaching films, there's like 3 that I've done that are international based. So I did one the year that I didn't get into the film festival, where I actually messaged every single finalist from that year. Not me, I wasn't in it, but I got all the other ones. And I think 13 out of the 16 helped me make a film, gave me inputs. And also I contacted geocachers from about 30 countries who sent me film clips from their events. And actually you did too, Dave, so thank you.
Yep.
And then, so that was like one of my favorites. And then I did another one where I had people from about 30 or 40 different countries in their languages say, I'm a geocacher. My name is what so-and-so, and I'm a geocacher from, Spain or wherever. And then I have them find a cache and say, found it in their language. So in Spain, they say, or in Spanish, they say, encontrado. In other languages, they say other things. So those are my favorite films. I did the one too, and actually, Dave, you helped me with this one too, where I asked people how geocaching was affected by COVID. I think I had about 8 people in that one. But I love the international part of geocaching.
Nice.
knowing my film is being seen normally, not this year, but in other years at like 600 or 700 events in about 50 countries. I mean, that's just one of the most amazing and humbling things to me. That's why I don't even care if I win anything. The fact that my film is actually in the film festival, it's just so amazing to me that people are from all over the world are watching it. So that's why that's there. And then, of course, the next one on the bottom is the GPS receiver from 2019. And then we'll talk about this later, but the signal guy is from my balloon project that I'm working on. I should be working on.
And that's a good segue to
the
balloon project. There you go.
All right. Yeah, the balloon project. So this isn't really geocaching, but it's kind of. So
it's filmmaking, and that's what you're doing, right? So it's an interest you have, and you're filming about that interest. And
right.
Yeah.
So basically what I'm doing, in case you haven't seen this, is I have a plan to launch a high altitude balloon, which high altitude is about 100,000 feet, which I'm not sure what that is in meters, but it's pretty high. It's basically outside where you can see the blackness of space. And I want to launch a balloon with a trackable, that guy, and launch it up with a camera in it, of course, and track it and have it land and recover it. And I mean, who's the best to find things that are hidden and hard to find? Geocachers, right? So what I've been doing is, I mean, I could just go do this, but what I'm doing is actually taking the experience and learning from it. So I did a video so far about how balloons work. And it's a long video, but it's so interesting how balloons work and how the pressure works and how, displacement works and relating it to a ball under the water. I mean, I take my time and I really try to learn each part. I did a video about how parachutes work, but then I kind of stopped and I need to keep going. So someone had asked about that before. I'm kind of behind and I need to keep going. I get distracted very easily with other film ideas. Especially when the film festival comes up, it's like everything has to stop and I have to work on the GIFF films.
Yep.
So I'm working on it. I have a whole bunch of other films in line. I mean, basically my plan, in case anyone's interested, is to launch a balloon with an Arduino. I mean, I don't know if this might change, but basically have an Arduino microcontroller board with a GPS input, with a SD card that's recording, with a temperature sensor. And I'm actually hoping, if this works out, to actually get my amateur radio license, my ham radio license, and broadcast from the balloon the GPS coordinates and track it. So I'm making this like I said, I could just do this, but I want to actually enjoy it and learn everything and make myself better from it. Like I said, get my ham radio license. And so I don't know. I thought it was going to happen this year. It's probably going to happen in 2023 at this point. But I get distracted very easily with other projects. But like the coin, this took a lot of time too. So
how many videos have you made on the balloon?
I think officially, 2 real ones, because I had like an intro and a trailer. I'm not counting those. I did the one about the balloon and the parachute. Like my next one's going to be about the payload. So what is a payload? Like, what's the purpose of it? Protecting the equipment and having a thermal barrier and things like that. And so then I want to do one about tracking and about, I don't know, well, just different. I have like a whole list of different subjects. I need to get back to that. But my goal is to launch that signal as a trackable right outside the right in the camera range. So, eventually, assuming this actually works out, it goes up. You can see Signal the Frog it's supposed to be holding like a balloon, having him in the frame and going up into space, the balloon popping and recovering him. And he's a trackable. So basically the way that signal works is he stands on a Lego block. On the front, it says #geocaching. On the back, it actually has like the code, the tracking code. So when I launch the real one, I'm going to turn it around to show the tracking code. So people who watch the video can, discover it. But it's funny because after all this, I may never get it back. So I could launch this thing and never find it, but it's all the experience.
And you're going to have fun with it. Yeah. So Carol says, such an awesome idea.
Oh, thank you.
There you go. So what else do you have planned? Anything on the go?
No, the coin thing's done, thankfully. I mean, that took a long time. I started that in February of last year, so a year ago. And I'm not even done giving them out. So it's been a year-long project. I mean, there's a whole design phase where I worked with Christian Mackey, who's an awesome coin designer. and I actually met him because I was looking to do some live streaming during the pandemic, and I messaged some people and said, "Do you have anybody interesting that you know that I could talk to?" Someone said, "Oh, I know this guy Christian Mackey. He does coins." So like, all right. So I had him on. I never met him before. I actually still haven't met him in person, but I interviewed him and I was like, wow, that sounds really cool, actually. So then I wound up actually making my own coin. It's a big project. I mean, there's the design, there's working with the mint. I mean, there's making sure like the color of the, I don't have to show this, but the color of the armor was off. And I had like 4 or 5 different samples come through that I just could not get it right. So it just takes a long time. And then I ran it through Kickstarter, which took 3 weeks and then more weeks. And
so you have a video that you said you're going to talk about that. Is that coming out?
So I'm making 2 videos. One is going to be for Kickstarter people, really. It's really about what I learned from Kickstarter. And because there's a lot, I know other people want to do coins. And like, for example, I did Kickstarter because like, I'm not a big channel, right? I'm Geo Elmo Geocaching. I have 500 subscribers, which is a good amount, but like if I went and minted 200 coins without knowing if people were interested, that's very risky financially, right?
Yeah.
So the Kickstarter is a good way to kind of reduce the risk and sort of see like, hey, it's not a store, but it's a way, like, as you know, for people to kind of invest. So, you know, like how many people and how many coins or people are interested in. Like I actually plan to do 200, and I think people kind of pre-bought through the fundraiser 175. So I did another 100. I actually have a whole box of these things. So if anyone wants any of these, you know,
that's the next question.
Okay.
Are the coins for sale? And how do they get one?
If you message me, so basically the way I've been trying to do it, they're all on eBay right now, but eBay, there's a lot of fees on eBay, and I really want to take them down and just rather sell them more directly, because I raised the price on eBay a little bit to kind of cover some of the fees. But basically, the regular one I've been selling for $12. It's basically whatever's on my Kickstarter. I'm not changing the prices.
And $12 for that coin is amazing. That is a substantial coin.
Thank you. Yeah, it's 2 ounces. And it's real nice. It's made out of zinc with a black nickel finish. Nice. I've been selling the glitter ones. So these are, I don't know if you can see it, but these are glitter. And I've been selling these for 15. And the other ones, I've been selling the kind of all 3 together, like putting the glow as part of a package. So the only way to get all the glow is to get all 3. That's $45 for all 3. So $15 a piece if you average it out. And then plus shipping. I mean, shipping in the US is about $5 for 3 of them, or $4 for 2 for one.
That's amazing.
Yeah, shipping to Canada is about $17. So it goes
Holy cow.
Yeah, once you leave the country.
Wow. Yeah. So I was just saying we have this one to give away, and if anybody wanted to know, you can discover my coin. That is the tracking code number. Some people don't do that. Some people do. It's up to your comfort level what you'd like to do. But Giza, there you go. I love that. I love that way that came out. Giza.
Yeah. Well, you can. I basically specified the first 2 letters, or GE for Geo Elmo. So all of them start with GE on mine.
Yeah. Yeah. Our Cache Canada ones. We have 2 different ones that we've had so far, and they start with CC.
Cool.
So there you go. You can specify that or leave it up to them to make it random. So all righty. Canadian shipping is ridiculous, even domestically. Yes.
I could have driven them to you probably. You probably live about 8 or 9 hours from me. Probably
we could have met in Syracuse.
Yeah. I think it took like forever to get. It took at least a week to get to you, or probably more, 2 weeks maybe.
It's funny when I mail our trackable, which has the chain. You know, it's a flat. It's thin metal. It's like a tin or something like that. But it has the chain. I have to take the chain off the trackable and put the trackable back in the envelope and tape the chain separately, because having the chain attached makes a bump in the envelope, which makes it not fit through the slot that they have that they measure. So I have to separate them all to make it flat so it sends as a regular letter. It's cheap to mail as long as the chain is not attached. It's just so weird. So I'm taping everything inside.
Yeah.
When you get one from us, go, why is everything taped separately? That's why. So anyway, that's really cool. So everybody, we'll put that information, if you send me that, and I'll put it in the show notes below in the description of the video if anybody looks up how to get a coin.
Okay.
And I will post another picture of the coin and put that on Cache Canada's Facebook page, how they can purchase one from you. So,
cool.
All right. So I'm going to spin the wheel of names here. I have a whole bunch of names and it has a whole bunch of comments. I'm just going to spin it off screen here. I'm not here. I'll show you if I can share. Oh, I probably share it by the time it's done. Share screen. Chrome tab. Oh, yeah, there. Wheel of names. We have a winner. No, we don't. So I'm doing the wheel of names, and it has a blank comment, so I have to do it again. Oh, shoot, I lost it. So, yeah, I'm going to get that back, and we'll... so tell us something really cool about Geo Elmo that we haven't heard before.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I made videos about pretty much everything. I mean, I started years ago with, a real Elmo, which is how it started, with the monster. But I wanted to get away from, the monster because of, obviously, I don't know what kind of... licensing and things like that, right? I was just making videos and wasn't worried about the time, but I do have the red kind of as a part of, my channel. But at the time, so when I started geocaching, it was in 2011. I'll tell you this quick story. It was in one of my videos, but in case you haven't seen it, basically back in like 2009, I was listening to a podcast called Tech Stuff at howstuffworks.com, and it was called GPS Games That People Play. And I would listen to it on the way home from work. And, I talked about geocaching. So it was in my brain, and I never tried it. And then one day my wife was going out for the day. It was a weekend, and my kids are hanging out with me. And I said, let's try this geocaching thing. So I went to Best Buy, and I didn't realize how fortunate I was at the time, because Best Buy isn't that far. I'm like, I'm going to go buy one of those GPS receivers. I didn't have a smartphone. This is 2011. And so I went into Best Buy, and they had on clearance, they had Garmin eTrex H receivers, right, which are probably more than $100 normally, but they were $40 US. Yep. So I bought it, not, like I said, not even thinking like, oh, wonder how much they normally cost. So I bought it, came home, made an account. My daughter's sitting next to me with her Elmo, so I just I don't know, Geo Elmo, whatever. Because the problem is when you start this game, you don't know if you're gonna like it, right? So you make an account name. So I was like, I don't know, Elmo, whatever. And then I put the 6,000 on because I was like, oh, that sounds cool, even though it's really kind of stupid. But I put the 6,000 on the end. So I'm Geo Elmo 6,000 on the account, my account name.
Yep.
So we went out and we found some, and I posted a picture on Facebook, and my wife commented like, what are you guys doing? It's like, oh, we're going geocaching. And then actually I didn't say this in my other video, but that night, my wife came home. I was like, we got to try this geocaching thing together. You got to see this, of course, right? I caught the bug. So my wife loads the kids in the car. I'm locking the door. I go to turn around to go to the car. And I don't realize, but the lanyard part of the GPS receiver got stuck in the door when I closed it. Oh. So I walk away. The thing slingshots right back into my door and breaks. And I was like, and this is day one, right? And I was like, oh no. Well, I'm like, well, I'll just get another one, right? But then I couldn't find any because it was on clearance. So I had to wind up going. It took me days, but I wound up finding another one at another store far away. So I bought it. And like I said, I didn't even realize what a good deal I was getting for $40. And if I hadn't bought it, if it was like $100, I probably wouldn't have bought it. And then I just never would have started geocaching, and then I wouldn't be on your show. So look at all the side effects from that day, finding a cheap GPS receiver.
Yeah, J in LA says their first nano log inspired them to change their name right away.
Yeah, I should change mine, but I just keep it.
Yeah. I had been tempted to change London Westie to Cache Canada because a lot of people now, that's what they know, well, us, Karen and I, and that's the reason I wouldn't change it, because Cache Canada is the both of us. It's not me. It's the both of us. It started off with me, but then when Karen and I cache together, it's kind of hard to not geovlog without her. It would be very difficult to do that. So I just included her, and she became probably the bigger star than me. So
one thing I like about your channel is you guys have a good chemistry. Obviously, you're married, but it's nice because there's some geocaching vloggers that go by themselves, and then there's you guys go together, Geo Rick. Sir Drumalot goes sometimes with his family. There's some people that go with others, but like I just go by myself, right? And I'm not great on camera, not like super, trying to talking to you is fine, but trying to be all personable, talking to nobody is not an easy skill. And
it is difficult. And I have challenge with that myself, because I'll be walking down the trail and then suddenly I have to, I don't have to, but I do. I talk to the camera and I'm making a comment or a point about something I'm seeing or experiencing, but I'm not talking to Karen.
Right.
I'm talking to you, and it's like there's nobody there, and I try to make it informative, clear, concise, and entertaining. Same, it is difficult. It is not easy. Yeah. And Cash the Line says chemistry and videography.
Right. Yeah. I mean, like Cash the Line, he does a great job by himself. I could not, even if I tried, I could not do that. Especially have like Joshua or See My Shell, that are just, their personalities are just like crazy on camera. I can't even pretend to do that. I couldn't even imitate them just as a joke. It's just their energy level is like way beyond anything that I have.
Yeah.
But I love like that each person who does these videos is different. Like Rick, he and his wife are just very chill. Like, hey, we're just having fun. We love each other and we're finding caches. Where you have other people where it's the other end of the spectrum and they're just like, boom, energy. Where, I couldn't do that.
Yeah. Very nice. Cool. So we do have a winner. I'm going to share the screen now because it's just sitting off screen there and it says who won. Just going to find it. There we go. All right. And the winner is, there you go, Carol Brandt. And she's one of our patrons and she's been commenting all along here. So congratulations. And I have her address so I can easily send that out. So no worry about contacting London Westie. London Westie, who is that guy? Anyway, so we will get that off to you. So congratulations on the awesome Geo Elmo coin. We love ours. It's very, very cool. So congratulations.
Yeah.
All right.
Nice quick shout out. Hello to everyone. Like I don't have my glasses on, but I see some of the names going across. I know a bunch of people want my coins and other people have messaged me about them, and hi to everyone. So thank you guys for supporting my Kickstarter. Kickstarter is crazy because you can, once you have to hit a goal where you get nothing. So you set that number. So everyone who helped me out, I really appreciated you and everyone else. It's not like GoFundMe where you get whatever you get. Kickstarter, if you're $1 short, you get nothing. So you got to really make sure you have support.
So you have to make sure you set it right.
Yeah. Wow. You want to be able to make a profit, but on the other hand, or not make a profit, but make enough money to actually buy the things, right? That was my goal, to have enough money to actually buy the coins. But on the other hand, it's hard, like with shipping, right? Because shipping to you or outside the US might be $16 or $17 US, and shipping inside the US is only $4 or $5, but shipping counts towards that total. So like, what if everyone bought the coins were from outside the US, my shipping dollars will be really high, and then the actual coin money that I collect from people might not be enough to actually pay for the coins, because so I have to figure all that out. But I was able to do it. So thank you to everyone who supported my Kickstarter, and everyone who supports my channel, of course, and I appreciate it.
Are we going to see a Minecraft video? Another Minecraft video?
I just did one for Christmas. It was fun because I recreated the Geo Elmo geocaching symbol in the sky, and I also recreated the geocaching logo in the sky. I got permission from geocaching headquarters to do that because it's like licensed by them. And actually, I had to put the R in there, the little, I don't know what it means, the trademark R.
Yeah, registered trademark.
Registered trademark. Yeah. But I think my next videos are going to be, so hopefully by the end of this month, I'll do the Kickstarter based video. So it's basically lessons I learned from Kickstarter. And then one of the rewards I had in the Kickstarter was thanking people who supported at a certain level in a film I'm making about the coins. So that'll hopefully be in March. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a video that talks about the whole thing, going from, working with the designer, why I worked with this designer, or how you can go and work without a designer, the minting process and the whole purchasing process. So in that video, I'm going to shout out a thank you to everyone who supported, like I said, at a certain level. And that was one of the Kickstarter rewards. My other reward for people who bought all three was a shout out in my next film festival entry, which I was hoping was this coming year, but it's obviously not. So
yeah, I'm looking forward to the video explaining the Kickstarter.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah,
it's just
because I'm interested in, and I don't know, I would like to make another coin, but like I would like to make a Cache Canada coin. We have a tag, and it was expensive enough to make, but these it just I can't believe you can sell. What did you say? $12?
Yeah, for the cheaper for the plain one. Yeah, I have about 30 of those left. So
yeah, it's just I'm amazed.
I like big projects. I mean, like I said, I went in the first film I made was a film festival entry. I love seeing. I mean, this is the same thing with film. I love having an idea. I had this idea for a coin or a film, and then seeing it come through to a final product. Right, whether once you're done editing and you publish it, or you're making this coin or a film festival entry. Like, it's such a great feeling. That's why I do this stuff. Like I said, it's not about the numbers. It's not about subscribers. I mean, it's about hopefully people like the videos, but it's not about the number of subscribers. It's just about seeing what you can do. I mean, I'm a midlife guy, and I'm making videos. I learned how to make videos in my 40s, and look what I'm doing now. It's just awesome. Like, I'm finding new talents and things. So, and meeting all of you guys. I mean, so for everyone watching, the geocaching filmmakers, the YouTubers that we all work together in a group, like, they're very supportive. And I'm the type of guy that I'll post a message to them, or I'll send emails and I'll say, I'm trying to make this vlog. I'm not doing a very good job. Can you give me some feedback? And they've been so supportive, Cache Canada and Cache the Line and See My Shell and Hailmeister and, everybody. So it's a really good community of people. So if you ever get into making videos, there's a really good support group. I don't want to say support group in like that, but like, we really do support each other.
Yeah, we're crazy.
Yeah, well, we are, but we really do help each other out. So if you guys ever decide to make videos, we're there to help you out and give you tips and all that stuff. So.
Yeah, we have a Facebook page that is just for the geocaching network, where we communicate amongst ourselves and throw ideas off each other, comments and so forth, and get-togethers and whatever. So yeah, it's been very fun, and we love helping each other out, getting better at what we do.
Right.
And so thank you so much for joining us. We've been over almost more than an hour already.
Oh, wow. Does anyone have any questions, or is this?
That's amazing. I think by the way, said thanks to Cat. Oh, Cat kind of pays better. Yeah, I think we've got it covered. So
okay, cool.
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah. So just so glad to have you with us and share your experiences. And we're looking forward to more videos from making the balloon, doing the balloon project, and anything else that your mind comes up with. And you got a lot of things up there in the noggin that hopefully we can get to see out on the screen. And we look forward to hopefully being in the next GIFF festival together.
Yeah, hopefully both of us, right?
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So anyway, people say thanks very much for the fun. It was very interesting having you on. Cool. And on Cache Canada coming up, Karen and I are leaving for Victoria, British Columbia on Friday. And we will be spending a week. And we're going to be meeting not only just land sharks, the people that make coins and tags over there in Victoria. We're going to be meeting up with Land Monkey, another geocaching vlogger, and his wife. So we're going to be hopefully shooting a video together each, and then of course sharing dinner together and laughs, and talking about all things geocaching and family and so forth, and travel.
Can I give a quick shout out to, we have 2 mega events coming up in our area, New York City metro area. So if anyone is interested, I believe it's June 18th. I don't have GC codes or anything like that, but June 18th in New Jersey, we always have a really fun mega event. Last year it was Revolutionary War based at an old historic New Jersey Revolutionary War town, which was really fun. And my video, I did a video recently. It was about my, what is it called? My busiest geocaching day, my busy geocaching day. I found 12 geocache types, and it was filmed at the place that we're going to be again. Actually, no, I don't know. I'm not sure if it's the same place. Anyway, June 18th in New Jersey. July 9th is a Saturday, I believe, also. And Long Island, which I've never been to, but those guys are awesome. They're going to be having what they're trying to have is their first mega event. I don't know, obviously it's not guaranteed, but they're going to have it. Last year they had Brian Roth out there and geocaching vlogger and some other people. See my show, Katie, whatever her name is. Katie.
Geocaching Katie.
Yeah, geocaching Katie. Sorry,
Katie Howard.
Katie Howard. Yeah. So like there's some big names out there, and they're trying to get a mega event going for next summer. So that would be July 9th. So if you're in the area from June 18th to July 9th, we have a lot of events going on out here. They're not all in Seattle. You can come out to New Jersey, New York area. So, we have a lot of cool stuff going on out here.
So conceivably, we could go to Long Island on June the 9th.
July the 9th.
Sorry, July 9th.
Yes.
And then on the next weekend, we could be in Memphis.
Okay.
For that mega.
There you go.
That would be a cool road trip.
There you go.
Yeah.
I've never been to Long Island before. I live about 10 miles from there, but I've never actually been there.
So if Cache Canada went to Long Island, would you go?
I would. Well, it depends. I have to try to see. Yeah. It's more about what else is going on. July is a busy month with vacations and things, but there's a lot going on. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on in Seattle, but there's a lot of stuff going on out, in my area too. So
we will have to seriously think about that, because we were thinking about going to Labrador in July. It's Labrador and Newfoundland is our most easterly province, but right now it's really difficult to get in. So I don't know if that's going to change. If that doesn't change, then a trip to the U.S. might be in the cards.
Okay. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Awesome. Yeah, cool. All right. Thank you very much for having coming on Cache Canada Chats.
Sure.
And we will see everybody later. Stay with me while we exit. Okay. Thank you, everybody, for joining us on the chat tonight. And we will see you again next week. We actually have a video being produced. And then when we come back, we will have another chat. We're going to be chatting with Scott from Ojai about Adventure Labs and creating an Adventure Lab that has no signal. So there you go. So thank you, everybody. We will be back again with Cache Canada Chats.